So what if I told you the modem that your internet service provider has provided you with is probably shit? And I am being serious about that, because if your current modem doesn't support Wi-Fi 6, then you're behind the times. And I'm going to show you in this video how plugging in a device like this, a Wi-Fi 6 router, can dramatically improve your internet across all of your devices on your network. Now, I do realize some of you might be thinking, what the hell was this mythical Wi-Fi 6 that I speak of? And why hasn't my internet service provider already told me about this? Well, the truth is a lot of these companies are quite happy to ship out old tech in shiny new packaging. Why? Because they can. And a lot of companies will provide a Wi-Fi 6 modem if you ask for it, but you probably will end up having to pay more for your internet subscription. Whereas this right here is just £99 at launch. They call this the Miracle Wi-Fi 6 router. And I don't want to bore you guys to death with too much geek speak, and I could do that, but I won't. Instead, here are 5 things that you need to know about Wi-Fi 6. Number 1, Wi-Fi 6 supports better multi-client access. To put it simply, that means it supports more devices without slowing down. It can handle multiple devices much more efficiently. Number 2, Wi-Fi 6 can support up to 40% faster throughput. So you can see this particular router that I have here, the ZTE Miracle Wi-Fi 6 AX3000 Pro, has up to 2,976 megabits per second. And as well as that, even if you have devices that don't support Wi-Fi 6, this is going to increase the speed on those devices too. Up to 166% is what they say. And theoretically, 250% of the rate of Wi-Fi 5, which is the fastest band for most of your default modems from your ISPs. Number 3, less interference from your neighbor's Wi-Fi band. Now, this is a big deal. If you open your phone right now and go to your Wi-Fi settings, count how many Wi-Fi networks you can see. And the reason this is significant is because if they're using the same Wi-Fi bands and channels as you, it's actually muddying the internet waters, so to speak. And your internet could be clashing with other networks, and therefore everybody suffers. Well, with Wi-Fi 6, it's much more well organized. And this ZTE Miracle Wi-Fi 6 router actually has a 7 dBi ultra high gain antenna system, which ZTE says increases wall penetration. Now, if you have a big house and you've got solid walls and maybe it's a mansion, maybe you wouldn't mind lending me some money. Number 4, Wi-Fi 6 is rumored to have up to 75% lower latency than your traditional Wi-Fi. And this is a big deal when it comes to tech and gaming in specific. And while we're only talking about fractions of a second, milliseconds, when it comes to lag, gamers will know this is a big deal, because frames win games and lag is never good. And number 5, Wi-Fi 6, theoretically speaking, has a better range than 2.4 gigahertz and definitely more than 5 gigahertz. So again, if you have a massive house, lend us some money. So this all sounds great, and you probably think that I'm trying to sell this to you. Well, actually, I don't even know how good this is because it's been sent over to me. It's not sponsored. They simply asked me if I'd like to try it out, and I said, yeah, why not? Let's see. So what I'm gonna do in this video is show you guys the speeds before and after. And the modem I'm using right now is one from a UK internet service provider called Virgin Media. And I must say, it's not the best modem in the world. It doesn't have Wi-Fi 6. When I'm close to it, which I am right now, I do get good speeds, but when I'm further away, it's pretty terrible. So I'm gonna set this up now and let's see how good this Miracle router really is. Okay, so here is test 1. The modem is right there, you can see it. This is directly in line of sight and it's less than a meter away. And this is the default ISP modem. So let's see what kind of speed we get here. So I am paying for 200 megs, so I'm quite happy to see I'm actually getting a bit more than that. So over delivering there, Virgin, fantastic. And the upload speed's around 20, just around 20. Okay, so now I'm connected to the ZTE AX3000 Pro Wi-Fi 6 router, and you can actually see in the top right corner of my screen, next to the Wi-Fi symbol, a little 6, and that indicates we're connected to a Wi-Fi 6 network. So let's do the same test, approximately the same distance, with the same internet, but just tethered to that internet supply via an Ethernet cable that was in the box. So you can see we're getting the same peak speeds, and maybe a little bit faster, in fact, more stable at a faster speed. And then the upload, more or less the same, maybe 0.1 faster on the upload But yeah, that's to be expected. We're within the 1 meter range. The true test of how good this is going to be when we start going through walls and floorboards and all that kind of stuff. So let's take it to another room and see what kind of speed difference we get between the default modem and the ZTE AX3000 Pro. Okay, so I'm downstairs now. I'm in the living room. There's a couple of walls and some floorboards in between myself and the modem. Right now I'm connected to the default ISP modem, the one that was sent to me with my internet. Let's see what we get in terms of speed. Pretty decent, to be honest. Nearly as good as standing right next to it. So the measured speed here was 193.9. The upload speed is pretty much the same at 20.6. Okay, we're now connected to the Wi-Fi 6 network, and you can see that in the top right corner where it was 6 next to the Wi-Fi logo. So the speed in which it reached the 200 megabits per second was much faster than the default modem. You notice that straight away. And it's measured at 204, so it's definitely faster down here in the living room. So there we go, it's a slight improvement. And one other thing you should know about Wi-Fi 6 is devices that support Wi-Fi 6 actually consume less power using a Wi-Fi 6 network in comparison to the regular 2.4 or 5 gigahertz. Anyway, let's do a more extreme test now. Okay, so I'm now at the back of the garden at the furthest point where the Wi-Fi can reach with the default modem. Let's see what kind of speeds we get here. Okay, so that's not world-beating speeds, 6.4 and 2 up. That's not great. Let's see what we get now with the new modem. So as you can see now, I'm on the edge of the Wi-Fi 6 range, but I've still got 2 bars and I've still got Wi-Fi 6. So let's see what we get back here, back of the garden. So as you can see, we've got a significantly better download speed and a massively better upload speed at the edge of the radius of the Wi-Fi. Okay, so when it comes to the ZTE Miracle Wi-Fi 6 router, straight away you've seen an improvement in speeds and slightly more range. But the big deal with Wi-Fi 6 is when it comes to Wi-Fi 6 compatible devices. So you can see the speeds we're getting from the 2.4 gigahertz Wi-Fi and the 5 gigahertz Wi-Fi. The killer feature here though with this particular product is the fact that it can combine those 2 bands together to increase that speed overall. And another benefit of Wi-Fi 6 is you get increased security. So the actual signal itself is harder for hackers to intercept. And the chip inside this particular router is a Qualcomm high performance professional routing chip. It's a dual core 64-bit CPU. And something that I really like about this particular modem is the NFC. So if you don't want to explain someone your Wi-Fi password, you can use one-touch pairing on the actual modem itself. Now, while this particular product will improve your Wi-Fi on all your devices, the best way to set this up if you have a big house is to get a few more of these and set up a mesh, which is relatively easy to do wirelessly throughout your house using the ZTE Link app. There's some cool stuff you can do here on the app. You can optimize the Wi-Fi signals. So like I mentioned before, when there's lots of other networks around, this will actually optimize it on a schedule so your Wi-Fi isn't crashing. And then also you can set up the mesh network here, super easy to do. Just follow the instructions on screen and it will talk you through each step of how to connect several of these ZTE routers together to cover a massive space if you have a massive house. And if you do have a massive house, lend us some money. And a while back I made a video about how to speed up your Wi-Fi with one simple tool. That thumbnail is on screen right now. Check that out. Let me know what you think. See you in the next one. Don't be late.